Hey everybody, and welcome to our 27th show.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da.
We're
Oh
back.
yeah, by the way, this is Brent.
Hi.
I'm Chris,
He's Chris.
and we talk.
We do talk.
It's the general premise of the show, which is called Brent and Chris Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're not going to keep going that way. How's your week?
My week was great. Just went by fast, got a lot done. Kids were reasonably well behaved. Only had one hiccup, which was my headache the other day.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, last week we took off, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Lots going on.
There was. We had a COVID scare.
Yeah.
Yeah, all worked out good. No one tested positive, but we had proximity to somebody who tested. So we were all nervous, but everything's good.
Yeah.
Made us appreciate our mask wearing.
Those things just, yeah, I know. And you can't, with how many, I think I texted you this earlier, with how many people are continually testing positive and or like for sure have it because of the symptoms deal.
Yeah.
It's like inevitable. Like I've ran into 4 or 5 people at work who've had it.
That's, yeah, gone are the days where you don't know anybody who's had it. Now,
Yeah, when you're like, well, it's kind of scary, but because I hear what's going on.
I don't know anybody who's had it.
But I don't know anyone, so it's just not as close to me as it is for everybody else. Well, now we're past that.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Right. Yeah, so I've actually, not to jump in.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
My week was great. How was your week?
Thanks, Brent. It's been good. Busy, very busy with school and the kids and such. But there's 2 things going on locally here that frustrated me to the point where I actually sent off strongly worded emails. And
I read one of them.
yes,
I think strongly worded is a fair way to put what you said, but in a respectful manner.
oh yeah, wasn't attacking.
Yeah.
Well, the second one was a little more.
It was a little heated, but I mean, it wasn't like you guys are just crap. It was
No.
just,
No.
yeah, it was. You were displaying your
Second one was very much like pre-coffee in the morning.
Oh yeah, pre-coffee.
Pre-coffee.
So when I got it this morning, it was like I lit this thing up and fired it off. Now I've had a couple cups, and here you go, Brent. What do you think?
Yeah, like should I expect a knock on my door?
No, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't, and I stand by everything I said. I was definitely more stern in my second one. So the first one was to the sports director at at WEEK here in East Peoria, Illinois, located on Springfield Road, and his name is Jim Matson. And
Yeah, like Jim Matson.
I
That guy has been a staple in this area forever, and I know you're not listening, Jim, but you're freaking awesome, man. I've loved your sports excerpts forever.
so now I'm gonna tell you why I don't like Jim Matson.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Jim,
We don't have to agree on everything.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I even said I'm sure Jim's a wonderful human being, but I was very bothered because he put a video out on his social media that encouraged parents to be the ones to decide if their kids play in local sporting events. And it frustrated me because that is pushing to defy what our governor has set forth for us.
Yep, and the CDC.
And the CDC.
Yep, definitely.
Also frustrating because I've never seen them take a side on a sports team. I've never seen them say, "Well, I hope
sure.
this high
As a
school team
sportscaster, come on, Washington.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be extremely biased. And it seemed really biased for him to be pushing for something that directly correlates and arguably benefits his job. What are they going to cover?
Well,
The team's practicing? Look at him shoot a free throw.
here's
No
the
one-
deal. I mean, they don't have to cover local. I mean, there's all the other sports stuff going on. So he has stuff to cover. I don't know if I'd buy that side of it, but I agree with you 100% on the
Sure.
not aligning with the governor, pretty much any government that's of any kind of sound mind.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there, totally.
I think but
I like his sports.
The more fair
The more fair?
thing to say would be he has a bias towards love of sports.
Yeah, for sure. I won't think there'd
And
be any
that's
way to
something
doubt that.
I address that I do not have, and to me, in Illinois right now, we have several zones that are on restrictions.
What do they call those? It's not zones, is it?
I don't know.
It's like the
It's not
territories
district,
within.
though.
It's sort of like district, but not district.
Is it district?
It was on.
I watched his darn things almost every day.
Yeah, I don't watch them.
Yeah, I'm home with the kids, so the kids are like, "Who's that? Is
Governor
that
J.B.
Pritzker
Pritzker.
again?"
I know people are like, "What the heck?"
They like the Dr. Ezike.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fun.
Where's that here? Regions.
Regions.
Yep.
See, that's way less Hunger Games, which is what you want.
Region 6 is going to be fighting for their lives now.
Yeah, so in Illinois right now, we have regions that are risking going back on restrictions, and I think it's foolhardy at best to say, well, let's have basketball games.
Well, I 100% agree. I mean, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole because I'm afraid if certain people are listening, they're going to be upset with me. And I'm not about going down that right now unless there's some direct confrontation. So all I'm going to say is, folks that are pushing for kids to go into the sporting events and to go into school full time and to participate as they would normally without the pandemic going on, I completely disagree with that. And the government, literally the CDC, the state government, pretty much everybody that knows anything about anything with science. I mean, you have to forget about the president and his circle that say that the science is wrong. I think that's what
his
he literally said
circle
was
is
like,
Dr. Fauci. His circle is like the
well,
people
no,
who disagree with him.
Those people, I think, are associated with this administration, but I'm talking about his inner circle. Mark Meadows and Pence.
Void of scientists, you mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, there's that quote of him saying that the science is wrong, or I don't think the science knows as much as me, or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not quoting it correctly, but what I'm saying is that is wrong.
Yeah.
And everything that's science backed by that globally, I think really supports the stance that you can't do the normal things anymore. We can't right now. We need the vaccine to be out there.
Yeah. I actually got a letter back from the WEK news director, which was really nice. I followed up with that.
Yeah.
And what I would call a kick in the pants followed the next day when IHSA ruled that they were going to go forward in defying Governor Pritzker's orders and hold basketball in person, in which they're going to make the kids wear masks running up and down the courts. But hey, don't worry, they're going to give them an extra break in the first 10 minutes so they can catch their breath. Now, all Pritzker is asking is that we move basketball to springtime. And that apparently is too much to ask for during a pandemic, which has claimed well over 200,000 American lives.
Heck yeah. I'm looking for the excerpt from the IHSA people, like the spokesman.
Yeah, so I went ahead and got online and found it's really easy to find their contact information. Wrote the president and just said that this is terrible. And it's really unfair to the business owners, honestly, I think the most, because those are the people who are going to get shut down. Now, the one thing I think is awesome about this, and if it's awesome, I guess, is that because they're violating a state order, the schools are liable.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what McConnell in particular, the GOP has been going nuts over, because they want protections for businesses that are opening and to keep them from being able to be sued. And I don't think that's right. If you have, let's go to the far extreme here. And, let me read this real quick. IHSA Executive Director Craig Anderson says basketball season is a go.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything different than what they normally would do. So,
his brain is a basketball. Sorry.
No, I just feel like I don't know where I was going with this now.
Sorry.
Where were we at?
It's a terrible decision that they're moving forward with this, and the schools are liable.
Oh yeah, so that they wanted to limit liability, but let's go to the extreme. So you own a business, and in that business you have something dangerous.
Sure.
Anything dangerous, like firearms are dangerous. I'm pretty sure, I don't know this for a fact, so I'm not trying to go down the wrong path here, but we should probably choose something different, like a fireworks store.
I worked at the shoe shop, which was surrounded with sanders.
Yeah,
and
they could eat you up.
They eat you up. And that if my boss wouldn't have provided safe work environments,
or even say for your customers, say you got a dangerous animal of some kind and you're a pet shop owner.
Yeah.
Right? That's actually happened in Florida. I read about it today. Some guy at, and I'm going to use this term loosely, an animal sanctuary
I've been to one
had
of those.
a leopard in it, or black panther. I think it's which is a leopard. It's just got pigmentation of a certain kind. This some guy paid him $150 to let him in this cage with this leopard, and the thing like ripped off the guy's scalp.
I mean,
So, and they're now both in trouble, mind you. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
there are more
if you
expensive
have things that are
haircuts.
dangerous, like you're liable as a business.
I mean, for
if
Pete's
people
sake,
get hurt.
yeah, everybody knows, like, I don't know, the adages about people falling in the supermarket, walking down the floor, they slip and they sue the thing. Like,
Suing Walmart or suing McDonald's because the coffee burned them.
ugh, we need to do an episode on that. That is a very compelling story. You know that woman got, like, third degree burns over her genitals?
Oh, I'm not disputing that.
I'm sorry, down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we could totally cover like some kind of corporate liability.
McDonald's did a whole smear campaign against her.
Really?
Yeah, just to make it sound like it was a preposterous thing.
See, and I'm not coming at it from that angle. I'm just coming at it from the angle of that's the whole. It's you learn in business school. That's why they have the caution hot language on the coffee and the lid, because they can't. That's trying to limit their liability. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether or not they, and granted, it's compelling in the sense the woman was egregiously harmed, but when you buy coffee or make coffee, do you expect it to be cold? Like,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. I'm
so,
listening.
coffee is supposed to be served at, I think it's 180 degrees. The coffee that they served her was well over 200 degrees. And they have done that multiple times. Other people had been burned in the place. So they knew it was a problem and they weren't doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No argument there.
Yeah. People know what hot coffee is.
Yeah.
People know what
Where's
it's
that,
like to
where's
drink.
that stop?
I mean, there's a huge difference between 180 and over 200.
I'm not disputing the temperature side of it, but like if you even touch the cup and you feel it's hot as fuck, like you just go slurp it up.
No.
I'm not trying to go one way or the other. I have a hard time with both sides of it. Like she got screwed totally because I've grabbed the McDonald's is the worst, man. Their cups are like, especially the older styrofoam ones, are super insulated.
Yeah.
You could just pop open that little flippy top lid thing and go down, and it just
lava.
Melting off your taste buds for the next week.
Imagine that all over your twig and berries.
Yeah, I need those apparatus, so I feel for that person.
And
anyways,
I want to say she was old. She was elderly. She was like 78 or something like that.
God. Now you're making me feel worse.
I know, Brent.
All right, let's stop. Let's right the ship. I'm turning the wheel, man. Full rudder to starboard.
What's our show about today? No, I think that's...
Did we even finish How's Your Week?
No, it was good. It was good.
We're not going back there. Your week was good. You're done. Now,
okay.
What's the show about?
All right, so if you don't know, the presidential election is coming up.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
Dude.
And Brent and I have tried so hard to stay out of politics for you guys.
We talk about it every day, but we try to stay off of it on here.
I know. God, I look back at our roster list and like, I'll be honest.
You sound like it's bad.
I know, and I know more about impeachments than like... I hope I ever need to know.
I know. We should talk about some other stuff for sure.
I know.
Anyway, that's what you guys all send us ideas, so we come up with this stuff. That's awesome.
It's the stuff I would have talked. Yeah, it's the stuff we would have talked about anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that just kind of precursors. We're going to talk about politics.
Yeah. Right. It's a political show. In an essence, I did a really good job of staying away from that. At the end, we're going to talk about the battleground states, give some of our predictions. And I'm going to try to find a way to get something on our website where you can at least make your guesses. We'd love to find out who you think is going to win the battleground
We can do
states.
polls.
I know, I was trying to find that, but I can't see the option.
They redid everything,
it's
so...
all a wonky wonderland.
Thank you, Facebook.
Thank you.
We love your support.
I switched back from the black to white. I don't know. I tried. Just couldn't do it.
It's hard.
It is. Have you tried the dark Facebook?
No.
Yeah.
I don't like dark things.
I didn't either.
My wife likes the dark black text background. I just can't, I don't know.
It reminds me of the old school computers.
Yeah. Or the old games.
Yes.
Where you'd be the multiplayer game and you're on there typing away.
What was that called? DOS? MS-DOS, right?
Well, we had DOS that we were typing like for coding, but I'm talking like video games, like World of Warcraft. Remember we were all playing that thing years ago? And you're on there, and like in the super dark places, people are typing, and it's like down in the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like,
what?
If they changed it to like gray, like what the hell are they typing in there? If your screen's not set right, so wow, man, we took another left turn.
We did.
Okay, we're going full right to starboard.
Well, hold on. Can I get on one thing on WoW? Favorite thing in WoW to do? Type Chuck Norris into the public world chat. I've learned there are more Chuck Norris jokes than I knew existed.
Oh, they just go nuts.
Oh yeah, everybody in the whole world offers up their best stuff.
Nice.
It was community.
I do like me some Chuck Norris.
I do too.
I follow him on Instagram.
Do you?
He's a Glock spokesman.
Is he?
I like Glock pistols, so
that makes sense. He's like, yeah, the legs don't roundhouse like they used to.
Now we gotta use a pistol. Hey man, Chuck Norris's stare is so strong that when a gun gets shot at him, the bullet just runs fierce. So no worries.
That's good.
Solid stuff. I just made that up.
That was solid. That was good. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the election, obviously, which is coming up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to talk about a little bit about polling.
Yeah.
Because this election has a lot on the line, and one of those things.
So did the last.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Absolutely. And one of them, I guess, the smaller things, if you look at it in the big scheme of things, is polling. Polling didn't get it right last time.
No.
And so I thought we'd take a look at the history of polling in America and sell it to you as an interesting story.
Mm-hmm. Like it?
So, nowadays when we think of polling, we may think of Gallup polls or 538.
Yep.
And there was a time before those where Americans looked to the Literary Digest. Now,
the Literary Digest.
The Literary Digest. It was published by Funkin' Wagnalls.
Like it.
Yeah, I love
funk.
I love my Funkin' Wagnalls dictionary. But okay, this Literary Digest was founded by Isaac Funk in 1890, and when it started, it was focused on opinions and opinion articles and analysis of news events. That was kind of its bread and butter, and it would come out once a week to its readers.
Cool.
So in 1916, it had its first poll on the outcome of the presidential election, and this was between the Democrat incumbent Woodrow Wilson and the Republican Charles Evans Hughes.
Yep, good old Charlie.
Interesting thing about Charlie, he is the only former Supreme Court justice to run to be to run as the winner. What would you call it? The main person.
Oh,
on a major ticket.
Yeah, what are they called?
The candidate.
Yeah, he's the primary candidate, the challenger or something on the. I don't know, man.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the main runner against the incumbent.
Yeah. So
that's weird.
Yeah, he was a former Supreme Court justice. The only one.
He retired?
Yeah.
Man, I would not give up that gig. I was like set for life. Why can't you run while you're still in there?
That's a good question. I have lots of reasons.
Like, why did you retire? You have something to hide?
The Constitution just went.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, we're living in the age of Trump where you can do anything you want. So.
So, the Literary Review had gotten every poll right up until 1936, when they predicted the Republican candidate Alfred Landon. He was a governor of Kansas. They predicted he was going to win.
What year is that? 36?
Yep.
Who do you run? FDR?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Digest predicted that he would receive 80% of the popular vote.
Damn.
Big numbers.
Damn.
That November, President Franklin Delano, or is it? I think it's Delano. I don't.
Delano.
Is it Delano?
Yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
It just seems like Delano has like the.
That's how his family says it.
Delano. All right, I'm going with it.
I've been to his house, so.
I'll go with you then. Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
In upstate New York.
Yeah. Okay, so that November,
Hyde Park.
He ended up winning 46 states. He got 60.8% of the popular vote.
Yeah, his family was rich.
Yeah, so not only was the Literary Digest wrong, they were really wrong.
He was already big in the feds, too, because like he was like a vice or assistant to the Secretary of the Navy or something. Like, he was up there.
He was up there.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guy was a...
He was a governor, for sure.
Yeah.
But
So,
he had a crappy name, man.
yeah, it's
You're not
true.
going to like that.
I know. But, I mean, again...
Sorry.
The Digest was predicting he was going to...
80% on Landon?
Yeah, and Roosevelt won 46 states.
That's damn near as bad as the last one where everyone was saying, like, Trump's got a 30% chance to win.
Right.
Or worse.
So, now, to make it worse, George Gallup...
Oh,
George! He was heading the American Institute of Public Opinion. He predicted the election within 1.1% of accuracy.
jeez.
And the damage to the Literary Digest was severe.
Yeah, right?
It folded in 18 months after that.
Nobody, like, we don't trust your ass.
So, it was actually bought out by Time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, subscriptions were bought out by Time Magazine.
Oh, well, they can just do the old swip swap and
And
swippity swap.
so what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the polling techniques were faulty. And it had gotten responses from 2.27 million of the 10 million people they asked. That is a huge response for polling. I think if you send out polls, they estimate you get 10% back or something like that. They got double that and then some. So the way they picked who they were going to poll, though, was the problem, because they decided to first start with their own readers, and the other list they used were people with telephones and people with registered autos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is during the
Specific demographics.
Great Depression.
Yep.
So it wasn't, reaching what most Americans had. Okay, I'm going to pick up actually on my notes. So both the list of people they used were far well off than the average American of the time. And this caused what is called a non-response bias. And this is when the sample has too many people with certain traits that affect the outcome.
Yeah.
So in this case,
Yeah.
money bags.
Yes. Well, I mean,
That's how I make money bags now. I just decided that.
not like this, shaking your bags.
Money bag. I'm making it rain, but they're really tiny bills.
Nice.
That's gonna go on a shirt.
Yeah. Right.
And okay. So that was the problem. You know, it matters who you poll. It matters who your sample size
Well,
is.
yeah, no doubt. You got to have representative sample.
Right. Exactly. Now, the Gallup poll that very year had a sample size of 50,000. I mean,
How do they do it, though? Was it a truly random sample? That makes the difference, I bet.
you know, it really does. I tried really hard to stay out of the weeds for you. For you, buddy.
I know, but I know enough about statistical analysis.
I know, and that's why, and that's why we could do a show on polling methods, and that would be, I think, interesting in its own right.
To some people.
To some people.
Others would be like, yeah, I'm going to skip that part.
Right, so we left that out of this show. Okay, so now George Gallup, he actually spent part of his life teaching journalism and marketing. Journalism and advertising.
Okay.
At Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois.
Interesting.
Yeah. He got his education from Iowa. But he started his polling company in 1935. Obviously, he had a great year in 1936.
Yeah, right.
You know? So Gallup had its own infamous screw-up, though. And that was in 1948 when it predicted that Thomas Dewey was going to win against Harry Truman.
Yep. That was big. A lot of people were running ads in the paper saying that was like a famous picture of Truman holding up that paper.
And that's with Gallup polls. Now, they managed to not go the way of the Literary Digest. But the Gallup poll at that time had suggested that Dewey would win the popular vote between 5 and 15%.
Mm-hmm.
But Truman actually won by 4.5%. So they were wrong.
Wow.
You know? So
Flip the script.
what happened? That year, Gallup stopped polling 3 weeks before the election, and it failed to account for Truman's comeback. That he made in the final weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say he made like a bunch of stops or something. I think.
Right, the train
stops.
The train stops.
I believe so.
I think so too. So I'm gonna try to put some of this into context from you. I know a lot of it's like numbers and stuff, but I just want to like
Yeah.
so I
Let's
got
have it.
3 elections to go off of. That 1936 election, the Landon guy came in. He was projected to win. Remember, by the Digest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he
Had
came
like
in.
80% chance.
Yeah, well, yeah, he came in at the end down 7.5%, and Franklin was up for almost 5%. That's not percentage of anything, but what the polls were different by.
Okay.
So this is the difference in what the polls predicted.
Okay.
And now in 2000, Bush and Gore, Bush actually got a little bit less. He got 0.09% less than they predicted, where Gore got plus 2%, almost plus 2.5%. And in that year, Gore won the popular vote.
He did.
You know?
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's hard to go with the polling. I mean, because he did win the popular vote. It's
He did.
The Electoral College.
Supreme Court is who gave Bush the presidency through the cases that were lodged, and Gore eventually just gave up on his court case.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because they were going to order the county to stop in Florida.
That was largely on the governor.
Correct.
Which Bush.
Jeb. Yep.
Anyways, come on.
I know.
So in 2016, what happened? Well, Clinton actually got more than they expected, but Trump got a lot more than they expected. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was +4 for Trump, +2 for Clinton than what they expected. What happened there was Johnson and Stein did worse than expected. I love that I can say Johnson and Stein, and we know what that is, but maybe if I'm dreaming big and 5 years from now somebody's watching it, they're not going to know who the hell I'm talking about. But Johnson had some wonderful gaffes that were really funny. Go look them up. And Stein, I just never could get on her train. She is cold to me. Wasn't my thing. Okay, so nowadays, modern times, we use 538. Do you want me to go through this? Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, you can start. I'm glad to drop. Since
drop
already on a roll.
Truth bombs.
Yeah, for sure.
So 538 was launched in 2008. It was launched originally as a blog, and it got its name 538 from the number of electors in the Electoral College.
Yep, I saw that was kind of neat.
That's it too. I don't remember the name of the dog. Or a fox.
It's a fox.
It's a fox, and it's on some Greek...
5e fox.
Yeah, and it's based off some Greek philosopher who said, a fox knows many things, but a hedgehog knows one thing. Big thing.
One great thing or one thing well.
Yeah. Didn't write that down.
It's an interesting thing, the connection.
Yeah. We should do a thing on Greek philosophers.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be fun.
It would be interesting. Not political, too.
Yeah, not political. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Now, 538 was started by Nate Silver.
Yep, he's a big sabermetrics guy.
That's right.
Statistician.
In 2010, 538 was licensed... Oh, it became a licensed feature of the New York Times.
Yeah, they picked it up after he started the blog, and he gained a following.
Right. Now, in 2012, 538 had some notoriety because they predicted the vote winner correctly of all 50 states. Excuse me. We should try that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get picked up by the New York Times.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. How do you guys figure it out? Well, I have a bunch of cats.
And I went and bought alcohol. But we won't say how we used the cats and the alcohol. But we need us to say we were right.
We were right. So, now, it was renamed after it became the feature in New York Times, 538, Nate Silver's Political Calculus.
Oh, yeah, they made it like an excerpt, almost like a show.
Yeah, but, I mean, honestly, they've done the same thing with Freakonomics. Gosh, I love that. They do it on NPR now.
Yeah, I like Freakonomics.
2013, it was bought by ESPN. They hired Nate Silver as the chief editor. And in 2018, it was transferred to ABC News, but as we found out...
Yeah, because I looked it up and I'm like, wait, Disney owns it. And then Chris was like, wait, who owns ABC? And it's ABC, Disney. Yeah. It's like a thing. So, there you go. More conglomerate holding company stuff.
Yeah. 538 has a polls only model. This is the only model we don't talk about. 538 has a polls only model. It uses states polls.
Because they have polling, but they also have
polls
sports.
Plus.
They do sports and scientific.
Oh yeah.
Stuff on their site.
That's right. But for the political stuff, they have a polls plus model, and in the polls plus model, they use state polls as well as national polls and endorsements.
Yep.
In 2018, Nate Silva wrote a paper entitled "How I Acted Like a Pundit and Screwed Up on Donald Trump."
Yeah, that guy was on NPR 2 days ago, and I listened to him talking about how they screwed up.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the paper, which was really long, it'll be in the sources down below, in which he said that his sample size was not large enough. Oh, I was supposed to say, what happened? That way I was going to do it all 3 times.
What happened, Chris?
What happened? Well, he said his sample size was not large enough to assign him such a low probability of winning, him being Trump.
Yep, he talked about that. Did he get into the demographics of the people they had polled?
This is what he did say. I'm curious on that after, if you don't care. He said the historical evidence suggested that early primary polls weren't particularly reliable. They failed to identify the winners in 2004, 2008, and 2012, and that other measurable factors such as endorsements were more predictive. So my skepticism over Trump can be chalked up to a kind of rigid empiricism when those indicators had clashed. The candidate leading in endorsements had won, and the candidates leading in the polls had lost. Expecting the same thing to happen to Trump was consistent with the data.
Yeah, excuse me. So what he talked about in NPR, I think it was this last Thursday, maybe it was Wednesday morning, was that basically back in even as early as recent as 2012, the people that they were surveying on the polls, it's just like what happened in 36. The demographics were messed up, and they wound up their sample size wasn't large enough, but it also had a lot more people in it that were college graduates. And because of that, they were getting skewed numbers, like drastically skewed numbers. I think he said something like 30 or 40% of that group was representative. No, it skewed it by like 30 or 40%. I may be wrong about those numbers, and we'll have to correct that if I can get a chance to figure that out.
I was going to say, he really wasn't that far off.
He wasn't massively far off, but he was far off enough. And he was not as bad as the others. Like, he only gave Hillary Clinton like a 70 to 80% chance of winning towards the end, 30% chance for Trump. But other people had like 99, 98% for Hillary to win. And I think, again, and then there was another person on the radio show also that was talking about the same thing. Like, everybody screwed up because they didn't adjust their methods to account for the right demographics. And it got into, mainly, they talked about the college education, which I thought was surprising because college education has been important. But why on earth wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, you figure that would be like a basic thing you'd filter on to make sure you had enough. Like I'm saying, getting towards that truly random sample. Now, truly random, you don't even know what's anything about them. Like, you just survey, and you make sure your sample size is big enough.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's really possible to be a national poll predictor per se, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
No, that is interesting. Things I find comforting, if you will. They're not too back. I say that. I'm going to take that back. I don't even want to say it out loud. I was going to say there's not two major groups back to back, but I mean, they did get it wrong. They did get the popular votes wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, often.
Well, the polls, it's a directional thing. You can't take it as like this is full on data. You could lie. You could go on a poll and lie.
Right.
Or change your mind.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be, I don't know. I hate to say these things out loud because it feels like it jinxes things. But right now, 538, last I checked, I think has, they've given Biden like a high 80% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Let's go to 538. Do you have anything?
I think that right now, given what happened last time, I'm not going to listen to any of that stuff. And until what happens, even if he does, like, think about if it's close enough. That's the big worry now. Is if it's close enough, all it's gonna take is the right case to be made in the court. And say what you want about the justices, I'm willing to bet you anything that the people that he put on there are gonna give him a freaking vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
They updated it 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
They've given Biden a 90 in 100 chance of winning.
It's a 90% chance.
Trump 10%.
I just don't buy that. I think it'll be close. I
So,
hope it's not.
There's a really great website, and I wish I was cool and smart and knew how to do things like this. I showed you that when you got here at the New York Times. I think it's the New York Times website. And it lists the battleground states. I think it might be fair to call them swing states in this case, but there's a lot of them. Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Nevada, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan, New Hampshire, Texas, Ohio, Georgia, Florida, Iowa, North Carolina.
And they're all in play on both sides.
They're all in play. So the New York Times has Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Nevada, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan, New Hampshire going to Biden. And that will clinch him the victory. And they have Texas, Ohio, Georgia, Florida, Iowa, and North Carolina all going to Trump.
I'd buy that. Iowa might be an interesting one, but I'd definitely buy them.
So let's say Trump gets Texas, Ohio, Georgia, Florida, Iowa, North Carolina. You can't remember that all, but let's say he does.
Yeah.
If he wins Pennsylvania,
yeah,
he's almost guaranteed a victory.
Well, that's what I'm sitting there saying. I'm like, I bet he could win Pennsylvania, and I bet he could potentially win either Minnesota or Nebraska. Like, I think that those are much more in play.
For me, it's Pennsylvania,
Michigan's there,
Wisconsin, and Michigan.
I mean, people in Michigan just tried to kidnap the governor.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's everybody up there, but that's kind of freaky.
And
you worried about going to try to kidnap Pritzker?
No one wants to do that.
Good luck.
They are saying
that's so stupid.
That Michigan. Where can I find it on here? Pennsylvania is the most likely to decide our election. Wow, we figured that out, Brent.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I've heard several shows recently, like just articles, read and listened to different things about these states, and Pennsylvania keeps popping up a bunch. Like, Trump won Pennsylvania last time pretty handily, and that's because the Democratic Union voters voted Trump. And they're still aligned with him in a lot of his policies. It's going to be interesting. I mean, shit, Michigan, he only won Michigan by like 22,000 votes or something like that, I think. Not that much at all.
Yeah, so, okay, here's what it's saying. In Pennsylvania, Biden leads Trump only by about 5 points.
Which is a rounding error.
Yeah.
Roughly.
And if Biden lost Pennsylvania but won other Midwestern states like Wisconsin, he could probably pull it off. But, I mean...
That's what I'm talking about, though. If the wrong combination happens and it's super close, and with all this crap going on with...
Yeah, 538 has Texas going to Trump.
I fully believe that.
Hey, Biden's there, man. He's trying.
I'm not down. He's trying. But I just don't think he can do it.
I think he'll get a good.
He could maybe get Arizona.
Oh, that's scary. They both have Pennsylvania as the line in the sand.
Yeah.
Go to 538. It's such a cool website, guys.
It is a neat website.
Hey, you can see our crafts. Yeah.
It's a prop now.
It is a prop. That's so cool. Wow, I didn't even think to do my hair before we came down here.
What are you talking about? It's a style.
That's all I got.
Very nice.
And honestly, that's all I got for this stuff too. What do you think about the Poland stuff?
I think that it's interesting because we all want to listen about. We all love predictors, right? We want to know what the future holds.
Yeah.
But it's like that old saying about be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. You know, it's super easy to hear the things that you want to hear and not listen to the whole picture or be realistic about what expectations you should have. And that's what's scary about polls.
I know. And like what's scary is I feel like I'm in the same boat, exact same boat as I was in 2016 as I was drinking myself into sleep the night Trump won. I mean, everybody assumed Hillary was going to win. I mean, going into it, it was tight, but I mean,
Well, I was confident last time around. Now I'm not confident. Now everyone's saying, yeah, he's going to win it. And I'm like, I don't believe it, man. I'll believe it when I see it.
I know. The one good thing going for us is how many early voters turned out.
Yeah, but if half that crap gets stopped in the counting process or screwed up some way.
Did you hear about Mr. Kavanaugh having to walk back one of his written...
Did he actually do it?
I don't know if he did. It said he did. It was because...
I know what he said.
Yeah, about Vermont. Yeah, and good old Bernie. So I honestly thought a lot about this. I'm going to segue. We can wrap this up. This will be a light show this week, guys. Get ready for the election. Personally, just thinking, I understand why Biden needed to be the candidate.
I understand it. I don't love it.
Same.
Never have been convinced it was the right move. 100%. I understand it though, because there was massive momentum before he even said anything, and he got in early.
Oh, Biden got in late. Biden was one of the last ones in.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Bernie got in early.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I felt good about Bernie, but I get it. Look how upset we are about. Look how upset America is just about the thought of moving to Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what that would be like moving to Bernie.
Oh Lord, people aren't ready for that.
People aren't ready.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Don't be like the Republicans, Brent.
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. I did not mean it like that. It just came out wrong. And I don't say her name often, so forgive me. Yeah. But what I'm going to say is the truth. It has nothing to do with her being black or the daughter of a mixed relationship.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with the way she approaches things that presents itself to be easily interpreted as some level of entitlement on certain subjects. How she sort of plays into, a victim side, but then says that she's, the strong prosecutor and isn't really willing to back down on things she said that are wrong, that she really should just own up to and move on. And so I understand why he chose her, but again, I feel even less. I like his having her as a running mate even less, just because of the way she approaches things. She doesn't have nearly the broad appeal to me.
That's my thing too. I don't think she is a.
Is she ready to run the country now? I don't. Could she do it? Yeah. Well, would she do it the way I think she should? I don't know.
I think she's ready to handle the whole vice presidentship.
Oh yeah, vice presidency for sure. But say Biden gets in, and God forbid, if he got in and like a weekend he had a stroke and he was incapacitated. Now she's the commander in chief.
She'd be fine.
I know she could do it, but I just.
The bar is
low
right now.
Oh my God, it's
that's you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
All she has to do is not tweet, not mess up a speech, not say fine people on both sides. Boom, she got it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know. And that could just be me not wanting to accept change in the sense that she represents more of a progressive. I'm a very centrist person, you know that. She represents more of a progressive, left-leaning approach that I'm comfortable with.
I hate to call her that. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I leaned on Bernie so hard. She is not that.
Well, she's not. If that's your anchor.
Yeah.
100%, man.
Yeah, that's.
And see, Bernie's way too far left for me. But there's lots of things he says that I do love. So
and I don't love Bernie without logic. I love Bernie because I realize maybe a quarter, maybe a tenth of his ideas will get through.
Correct, and that's the reality of it. I totally would have, if he would have won the primary, I would have voted for him and felt good about it against Trump.
The thing with Biden is it's just we gotta ease back into the middle.
Well, that's just it. He's a centrist to a fault.
Yeah, and we talked today about this. Walmart is pulling guns from their shelves during the election time. That frightens me.
Yeah.
That is just... I feel like we're just accepting, there's gonna be violence.
There will be almost certainly of some kind.
Restrain yourselves.
I know. It's not possible. The time...
If Trump wins, we will be right back here talking to you people about it.
If he wins, I'm gonna be hammered.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Last time I couldn't drink because it was late and I had to go to work the next day and my wife was pregnant and I was sleeping amongst a bunch of shelving units in an apartment I was renting.
Yeah.
Living out of Cape Cod then. And I was like half asleep, but she was uncomfortable, so I went to sleep in the other room. And I remember like checking my phone real quick and I saw that Hillary lost and was like just defeated.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did the clown win the election?
I don't even remember what I was drinking. Me and Shell had like some bottle of wine. No, we didn't. She was pregnant. I had a bottle of wine. That seems out of character.
It is out of character.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
I know.
This night's going downhill really fast.
I had a funny idea for a skit. I think it'd be so funny if like a cop tried to stop you from taking your own election sign out of your yard.
Well, what's the premise?
I don't know. Maybe at first he thinks you're not the owner of the house.
No.
But then he's like, I don't know. I from all I know, it's just illegal to remove them. You got to keep them in. I still got a Nixon sign.
Yeah, right? That's funny.
When they rot away, it's okay.
Yeah, right? It's kind of like the American flag. You can't burn it or trample it or
Yeah.
put it on the ground or anything. It's like, you got to leave it there, man.
It's there. That's the law.
That's your stance for life.
I don't think you're reading that right. We'll work on it. Maybe we'll do skits next week.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, we are probably going to jam out one of these times. We'll practice first.
Yeah, we should practice first.
A few times.
I need practice. We should probably talk about this after the show, but the sad state of the ESP makes me want to just weep.
Yeah.
And I was looking up on the ESP website. I'm like, oh, she could look like that again.
You should just probably buy new hardware.
Probably. That stuff's smoked. It's roached out. It's just, it looks bad.
I think that'd be your cheapest bet. I was thinking about that because the
It's
body's
all
fine.
corroded, nasty. Yeah, I know. It
And
just
not
needs to be
finished.
cleaned up, new strings, and
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
our
I'm
life,
missing
guys.
my behind me here should be my beautiful acoustic, but it's at the photographer's house getting photographed. Be up on the website. Not our
important.
website, my website. More on that later.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Hey.
What else?
It's still under an hour, so rock on.
Yeah, I think that it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't intend for this to just be like a hammer you with statistics type of show. I told him earlier, I was like, let's just have fun with it and talk about the stuff we've been, hitting at recently. I'm sure after the election next week, we're going to go nuts with the show on the following weekend,
The breakdown.
Oh my God. Regardless of what happens, I want to hear a breakdown. Just think about it. It's going to be news out the wazoo on whatever else is happening. Even if it's a landslide Biden victory.
I will say.
If it is, he's going to freak out.
Yeah.
He's going to, I'm not leaving.
I know, it is. It's going to be a whole shit show of denying votes, counting votes.
Something.
I don't want a Florida.
It's fraud.
I don't want a 2000 Florida in Pennsylvania.
Can you imagine if a Biden administrative person, like, say they don't fire Christopher Wray, even though he seems like a relatively good guy for the FBI, which is strange for me to say for a Trump appointee, because he's told the truth as far as I can tell so far about things.
Which guy? FBI guy?
Christopher Wray, yeah, he's the FBI director.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, it's the guy with the face.
The guy with the face. Okay, people have faces, Chris. Christopher Wray.
Is the FBI guy?
Yep. Is the... Oh, hang on.
I'm
Yeah,
talking-
he is. Served as the FBI director. Yeah.
Who's...
FBI director.
He is not still there, is he?
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
I
That
don't know, man.
appointee that...
Guy with the face.
The guy with the face. The Trump pushed through that they didn't want, and they rejected him once, so then Trump pushed him through again? Ratcliffe, maybe? John Ratcliffe? Ratcliffe?
No, it sounds familiar. I don't know. This guy's in there.
I've seen his face. I've heard him testify for several things.
Yeah, he's in there.
Okay, now this is going to bother me. Why do I know the name John Ratcliffe?
Ratcliffe sounds right there.
John Ratcliffe. Maybe it's not John.
Hang on. Politician.
Oh, and National Intelligence.
There you go.
NSA.
See, he just looks like a bastard.
Yeah, the face, right? Do you get it now?
He has the face. The face.
Here you go, people.
People are like, judge a book by its cover, Brent. Well, I'm sorry. I do that every day, and so do you.
Yeah. I don't like that guy. I didn't like him in the...
You know who I hate more? And hate's such a strong word I don't like using. Mitch
McConnell.
McConnell. Like, you look at that motherfucker, and you just know you hate him.
I know, dude.
It's like, you fucking turtle bastard.
I know.
I just dropped some F-bombs, man. This is gotta end this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going off the rails here.
We need to do a show on Mitch, the demigod.
Oh, I don't know if I could do a show on him, man. I heard a very brief excerpt of his life, and it started off with him as a child, and it showed a picture of him, like, oh, he's kind of cute. And it's talking about him getting polio. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for this guy. And then it goes into his political career, like, fuck him.
I know. And well, his wife, who's his wife, though? You wouldn't ever expect his wife.
Cho?
Yeah.
Yeah. But she...
I know. She's got her own story.
That's
past.
right.
All right, we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
I got my finger on the stop button.
Yep.
Anything else?
We love you guys.
Love you. Go vote.
That's it.
And
Vote.
if you're listening to this after...
I hate to say this, but even if you vote for Trump, fucking vote.
I know. It's part of your civic duty.
Yes. Go be Americans.
Go back and watch our, I don't know, our show on civic duties. We did that one. Social,
Oh, yeah. Equity.
Yeah, social equity.
That wasn't what it was. I just made that up, but...
We did a lot of shows. Okay, everybody, have a nice day. Have a nice week. Go vote.
That's right. We love you. Take care.